We are going to look at a few orchids in my shade house in Hawaiian Paradise Park, Hawaii. We are on the Big Island, about 10 miles away from Hilo, Hawaii. The first thing we're going to look at is a Dendrochilum stenophyllum. So this plant is a little bit past its prime, but I still want to show it because it's a pretty remarkable plant. It is covered in spikes. Some of them are a little bit done at this point. Some of them are still pretty nice. So here is a Dendrochilum wenzellii, and this is really cool if you've never seen this, but here is the actual spike coming out. Let's see if I can take this down. So here's the entire mount, and if you look closely, you can see that there's a ton of flower spikes coming out. Next we have a Dendrobium normanbiense. So this is not yet flowering, but the flower buds that haven't opened yet are pretty spectacular, even unopened. I'm a really big fan of this plant. It flowers like crazy. So I will do an update when these flowers open, but really beautiful plant. Next is a Calanthe vestita, and this has gone fully deciduous, but really, really beautiful flowers. This is a terrestrial plant. I have mine growing just in straight sphagnum moss. But the interesting thing with this plant is that these buds, the spike, it took forever to open. It was spiking out for probably 6 weeks before it started flowering. Epidendrum tomlinsonianum, and this guy is so understated. It's got this really compact set of flowers. I do want to show, this is a mounted guy. This was mounted on just a piece of redwood fencing that I really broke off. See, it's just kind of broken at the top. I think as this matures, it's going to look really good. So young plant still. The reason I'm showing a dead plant is because I've had very good success so far growing orchids here. It's a very favorable climate. I think the one problem is it rains probably a little bit too much, but this is a Dendrobium nemarale, and I saw that this plant was starting to not do very well a few months ago, and I sort of just let it hang on to see if it would recover. One of the reasons I did this is because oftentimes when I'm buying orchids, I will buy 2 of the exact same plant, and I will grow them in different ways. And I talk about this in some of my other videos. I talk about growing orchids and experimenting with growing methods. So here is a sibling of that plant, Dendrobium nemarale, and this one was mounted on a piece of redwood fence post. And these are pretty gorgeous flowers. It's an absolutely beautiful plant. So I sort of sacrificed the one plant. It wasn't really a sacrifice, it was more of a test to see if it could recover. It did not, but in this case I know that this guy likes life more mounted. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Happy New Year.